welcome to a special episode of Cosmic Road. Today, we are joined by Dr. Robert Shiepe. How you doing, Robert?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate you having me, and I'm excited to be here.
Oh, me too. This is going to be great. If you're not familiar with Robert, he has pioneered research into a new field of ufology, documenting these small UFOs that seem to buzz airborne objects, especially helicopters and planes. And he calls them dragons. At first, I believe you thought they were dragonflies, right?
Yeah, they had to be 6 years ago. They had to be an insect. It had to be a bird. And then I ascertained it's not a bird, but it has to be a bug. It has to be a dragonfly based on its flight and silhouette and the wings. And then I realized later with better cameras, it's not a dragonfly.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so Robert's going to talk to us about dragons today and show some amazing footage. So buckle up, guys, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Okay, Robert, take it away. What have you got for us today?
Oh my gosh. So this phenomenon has started briefly for your new viewers. I'm a clinical pharmacist, retired. In 1986, I started the first mail order pharmacy business in the United States. Was extremely successful. I did that for 25 years. I retired in 2012. Live in Marina del Rey, and for some odd reason, in 2017, 5 years after I retired, Marina del Rey, which is the largest marina in North America, it has about 5,000 boats. The marina got invaded by Black Hawks in the Coast Guard. Invaded, which means they came in, they hovered over 200 or 300 feet. Now I left my radar on. We're going to get into that later. Did you just hear a KA band in the background?
I didn't hear it.
Okay. All right. I'll move my radar
The,
closer.
the volume's a little low. Let me see if I can turn up your volume.
I'll just let me quickly move my camera 5 feet closer to me. There's a reason for this. Okay. Super. That's how you know this is live and real. The phones are ringing and okay. So briefly, these UAPs, when they fly by, they trigger the X and K band 8% of the time, 8%. So I hooked up a car radar detector to my camera, and it's just pointing at the ocean right now, Marina del Rey over the ocean. Because when these UAP dragons fly by, 8% of the times it will just randomly go off. And I want you to hear it. You're going to be able to hear the X band in the background. So going back was summer of 2017. The Black Hawks and the Coast Guard came in. They hovered 200 or 300 feet off the ground, very low. And they did that for like 4 hours, which just makes no sense whatsoever. Because Marina del Rey, very affluent part of Los Angeles. It's in fact, it's the, in any city, the #1 income is from property tax. In Los Angeles, the #2 income is from Marina del Rey. So there should not be an invasion of the military. It's totally ridiculous. And basically after 2 weeks, they didn't leave. They did this every day for 2 weeks. I said, okay, this is kind of enough is enough. I took out my Sony 1080 30 frames, started recording them, and then you could see these tiny dots flying up to their engines and flying in circles. And then that's when I realized something is going on. They know about it. And looking back, they know about it because in 2016, 1 year earlier, we had some very sophisticated thermal satellites went online. So we could see these things flying around the LA basin, in particular, Marina del Rey in particular. These things are all over the world. I have viewers all over the world sending me videos. I found videos on YouTube all over the world. This is ubiquitous. But for some unknown reason, Marina del Rey is infested with these UFOs, small UFOs, AKA dragons. And nobody knows why. We have some theories. There's 30 miles north of me, there's a large, appears to be a very large underground base, a hangar, which makes no sense. You can see it on Google Map off the coast of Malibu. It's
yeah. For viewers, if you're not familiar with that, it's the one that looks like a table and it's got the pillars. An amazing structure, whatever it is. And of course, many people think that it's a UFO base, and it very well might be.
It very well might be. In fact, 10 miles north of it is Point Mugu Naval Base. And that structure is not in the territory of the naval base. But if you go there, they will ask you to leave. The Navy will ask you to leave. You cannot fly over that space, and you cannot stop and dive and go down and investigate. They will ask you to leave, which is kind of odd. So I encourage you, and in fact, if we have the time, I'll pull up a picture of that underground structure. It's in Congress. It should not be there. It's quite large, 1 or 2 miles wide. It looks like it's just basically a flat roof and somebody poured sand over it. So it's been there for quite some time. And there's been always a lot of UFOs off the Malibu coast, Santa Monica. And where I'm at, Marina del Rey, if you look on, again, Google Map, you'll see a bunch of rocks in front of the marina. They're 2,200 feet long. They're boulders. And they're designed to stop the wave action from coming into the marina so they don't rock the boats. But it's exactly where those rocks are is where the government, the police, the army, the Black Hawks, the coast, where they always circle. They always circle. The theory being they have really good cameras, IR and thermal flare, and they could see these things landing and coming out of the water. And I have hundreds of videos that show that. I even have a submarine that we launched. We launched right at this jetty rocks. It went underwater, stayed there for an hour, and they pulled it out of the water. And I have all that video. So we've had 2 major research vessels that spent 9 months here. The Decisive and the Ocean Investigator, they were here for 9 months looking around. And then we also had the USS Gabriella Gifford, showed up for 1 day. And that's quite amazing. I'm looking at my balcony and I see a warship right in front of me. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that'd wake me up.
That was like, it was like, what am I looking at? Is this real? And they did you could tell they used every trick they had to document, record these U.A.P. dragons. And I documented what they were doing. So it's a quiet chaos. It's a very quiet chaos. Again, they're all over the world. Anyone could do this. When you see helicopters, airplanes, take your cell phone. All you have to do, hold it sideways, and zoom in halfway for 30 seconds, and you'll see a tiny dot. And don't give up on your first video, and it will be very fast. So if you blink, you're going to miss it. It's 2,000 miles an hour. And again, it triggers the X-band, K-band, which was confirmed last year by the Pentagon on April 19, 2023. They gave a report to Congress, and they said, these things are small. They're going 2,000 miles an hour, and they triggered the K-band. That's my little doggy here. So, yeah. So,
yeah, a bird or a bug is not going to trigger the K-band.
No. And there's not going to be over 15,000 military sorties over Marina del Rey. And that's how it's far exceeding. The real number is 40,000, but I don't tell people that because it's just too ridiculous to believe. I keep it at 15,000. But it was a circus in 2017, 2018. It was a circus, and every day was an air show over here. Massive invasion of military aircraft.
Wow.
And I document. And I have over 4,000 of those videos. I've recorded actually over 20,000 videos, and then I cherry picked and kept the best 4,000. It's just massive, the library that I've accumulated. And again, they're all over the world. Anyone could do this. There's my channel, Custodian Files. Check it out. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I've given lectures at the March Air Force Base here in California. To the best of my knowledge, I'm the only civilian ever invited to an Air Force base to give U.A.P. lectures. I've been on Discovery Channel, Flight Club. They documented this. I've sat down privately with one of the ABC agencies. I don't want to say who because I don't want to get on the wrong side of them. But I've told a lot of people. I've done a lot of podcasts, and so it's almost if you don't know about this, you should get caught up really quickly. They're all over the world. And I reached out to you, Jack, a couple of days ago because of what happened in Miami with that aircraft, the engine. I'm still waiting to hear the analysis, but there was a hole punched through the engine. And of course, it's hard to say, but I have a similar video from going on 4 years now of Delta Flight 89 taking off from LAX, and its engine blew out, and I have the video of it. So I'm just saying, boy, this is a U.A.P. UFO hot zone here, and that engine blew out. And in the Miami thing, we got some UFO activity there. So we're trying to put together the pieces.
Well,
I'm not saying,
Preston Dennett did a whole episode maybe a year ago, several months ago, anyway, talking about all the examples of UFOs that have collided with human vehicles, from planes, trains to automobiles, believe it or not. And so, could dragons also collide with planes or helicopters?
oh,
Totally possible.
theoretically, they're doing a lot of recon. So people say, what are these guys doing? Only because I put 12,000 hours, 6 years, and I have a heavy science background, being a clinical pharmacist. So their primary function, based on a lot of videos, not theory, but their primary is to escort larger UFOs to the planet via wormhole portals. I have those videos, and then once they're on any planet, in this case Earth, they recon the Earth with like an electron microscope. And I mean, they look at probably every atom on this planet. And the point is, when they recon our aircraft, one of these dragons could have gotten too close to the engine within a couple of inches. And if the aircraft would have hit an air pocket, it would have been a violent descent. And the dragon could have accidentally punched through the engine, accidentally. So they get pretty close to the aircraft. But the majority of the time they're usually a couple 100 feet away. But it is possible, and I'm just saying that I have the video of a Delta 89 from 4 years ago. That engine just blowing up for some reason, and it got tagged also. And then we have the Miami thing. So I was sharing that with you, and you said, "Hey, let's do a podcast and let's give people
Yeah.
the update." There's a lot going on. This is it's not going away. It's not going away.
No, no,
Probably will.
it's just starting, man. You have started something. And now we have high profile people like Courtney Brown and others that are getting on the Dragon bandwagon. And I love it. I think that you have really started something. And
That's
yeah, so let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going here. So I guess at this point, like some of your new viewers are saying, "Hi, Robert. Okay, show me videos. Show me videos. Show me some." Okay, so what I'm going to do here, let's just go straight to some bunch of files, and I'll throw out as much video as possible. So let's go to real quick here. Whoops, I forgot to press share screen. Okay, I kind of know almost an expert with the Zoom thing. Now go to files and go to here, and let's see. I'm going to go to my interpolation file. Here we go. So each video is approximately 1/3 of a second. I'm shooting with a Panasonic X1000, 4K 60 frames, which is very similar to what Dr. Brown is talking about. He's shooting at 120. But basically, 4K Panasonic, yeah, it's interesting how these Panasonics, for whatever reason. So all you do, you watch planefinder.net. There's a couple of websites where you can watch aircraft. And here we go. So I just record aircraft when they come over Marina del Rey. And the majority of the time they do get tagged. The tag is when the U.A.P. Dragon will fly by and investigate the aircraft. So here we go. This is one of my better, and I call them interpolations because I copy and paste each frame using Adobe software. There, you just heard the KA band. There you go. So a dragon just flew by. So this is these interpolations. They're 60 frames a second. So how many frames are there? Not even 15. So that's, what is that? 1/15 of a second. That's how fast they are. They're invisible to the human eye. They're invisible with binoculars. You need a digital camera. And once you have a digital camera, you could record this. So let's shoot some other interpolations, go by some. Here's a helicopter. All these are, a lot of it is law enforcement. Some of it's tourism, but here's one getting really close to my roof, and the dragon comes off the ground. Basically curious, why are you flying this close and what's going on? So again, they're copy and paste. Again, they're called interpolations. So the all the military, every single aircraft you can think of from the military has been here. It has been here. So let me shoot through some, okay, so what we have going on here. So these things will recon, they will recon anything over 150 feet. I know that because I've done 20,000 videos on trial and error, and you put things together. So anything over 150 means a feet. That means a kite, a bird, a parasail, an earth drone. I call it earth drones just to distinguish that it is not an ET drone. But here's the parasail. My balcony camera is at 200 feet, and I have a roof camera at 240 feet. But nevertheless, here's a parasail. It's being launched. I know it's about at 150 feet, so I turn on my camera knowing the majority of the time a dragon, a UFO dragon, will fly by and tag the parasail, recon it. So all the way on the left here, you see a bird and you see the parasail. And right here in the right corner, you're going to see a dragon. It's going to come off the roof. It's going to arc, and it's going to go back down. Usually they fly across from left to right, right to left. But in this case here, watch the video for yourself. Watch the right corners. It's not a bird. Here we go. Very predictable. Extremely predictable. I do this all the time, especially I love the summertime. It's hot. Everybody's riding on a parasail. There's a lot of people at the beach. There are banners. Banners get tagged all the time. There you go. So let's shoot through some others. Here's one of my earliest interpolations. That's the Los Angeles Police Department. They're here all the time. They're here every hour. And again, there's no reason for any law enforcement agency to be flying over Marina del Rey. It's not that kind of a crime zone.
Now, in the one you just showed, you can see the wings. Can you give us your understanding or your theory on why these things have wings?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. Let me freeze the picture. Okay, and let me enlarge that because a lot of you are watching it on your cell phones, which is fine. So what's going on here? Because I have a video from 5 years ago on Lincoln Boulevard, 4500 Lincoln Boulevard on June 8, 2018. I was just recording an airplane in the background, and sure enough, I recorded one of these U.A.P. UFO dragons flying parallel with the high voltage lines, the 34,000 volt voltage lines. And logically, there's only one logical answer why a UFO vessel would be flying, touching high voltage lines, and they got to be recharging off electricity. And if that theory is correct, then these little wings are plasma jets. They're propulsion. They're utilizing electricity. They've got it figured out, Jack. They're utilizing electricity. You've often heard like, oh, these UFOs are over our nuclear power plants. Why are they doing that? They're recharging. They're filling up their tank. It's as simple as that. And that's been documented for decades and decades. I've talked to people in the Air Force that investigated this, and it's like they're always over our nuclear power plants recharging. It is what it is. So if you record, if you have high voltage lines where you are, record high voltage lines, record helicopters, airplanes, airliners. It's endless. So I'll shoot through some more videos. Here's the Coast Guard flying over the jetty rocks. The jetty rocks are just right here on the right. They're always here. Every agency is doing the best they can. Nobody's doing a halfway job. Everyone's doing 120%. But here we go. We got the Coast Guard, and very predictable. Dragon comes in, recons our choppers. Very predictable. It's always the same spot, same area, over 90% predictable. 8%, again, it triggers the X band, K band. And they also make an audio. 8% of the time you can hear a clicking sound on the tapes. So
Again, not something a bug or a bird would do.
no, birds are easily, we just saw a bird with the parasol. They're easily identifiable, and in slow motion, they're not moving. The helicopter's not moving. Nothing's moving in slow motion at 12%. But these things at 2,000 miles an hour, here's a police helicopter escorting a VIP on the ground. So while they're escorting a VIP, they're getting recon by one of these dragons. So it's out of focus here because of plane of focus. I zoomed in really close. The chopper's pretty close to me in the plane of focus. So that's an issue. The camera can only look at one object at a time. And it's saying, do you want me to look at the dragon or the chopper? So that's what's going on here. Let me show you a lot more interpolations. Oh, because this science is, because it's ubiquitous and it's all over the world, it's not just Marina del Rey. You can easily find these U.A.P, these UFO dragons on YouTube. All you do is you look at air shows. And I've watched close to 1,000 air shows, and I've seen correlations. So Thunderbirds, Blue Angels, they tend to favor the Blue Angels a little bit, like a 45 to 55% ratio. And they tend to favor Chicago Blue Angels. So if you want to see these things, Chicago Blue Angels is the fastest way to find them. But in this case, the Blue Angels in San Francisco, here we go, is being overtaken by a white orb. An orb being approximately 3 feet in diameter. Sometimes dragons are white, but the majority of the time they are dark. But nevertheless, they're very predictable. Very predictable. You just, in my spare time, I watch Blue Angels videos. People go to them. They're all over the country. They post them, and I find new dragon video.
Yeah,
Extremely
I shared a possible dragon video the other day of a small craft buzzing a rescue helicopter, and it was kind of a barbell shaped UFO. And you were telling me that that's very rare, but you do see barbell shaped UFOs.
I do see barbells. It's about 1% of the time. It's even rarer than that. Well, let's just say under 1%. But I have seen people from Australia has recorded them and posted them. And out of all my videos, out of 4,000 videos, I do have what appears to be one barbell shaped UFO dragon. So yeah, I expect to see that. At first, you're going to think, oh, there's two dragons there. We don't know if that's a different species, obviously similar technology and physics. We're just not sure how many species, but this is overall, it's universal. When you're using high voltage, extremely high voltage, you can manipulate your own gravity. You can do what you want. It's very likely you can travel dimension to dimension when you have access to extreme high voltage. And they've got it figured out. And we don't have that. We have the electricity, but we don't have the superconductor material. If we put 100 million or 500 million volts through something, it's going to vaporize. And they've got it figured out. They don't. Okay, here's a video, an interpolation of, here, let's back up a little. Here's an interpolation of actually Earth drones. I have 3 Earth drone videos taken from my balcony. This one was my contractor. He said, let me launch my, because he uses his drone to, when he does repairs on people's houses. So I turned my camera on. His drone is actually right here. It's just sitting. Well, this dragon came off the ground, vertical, straight up, and it perfectly eclipsed. It perfectly eclipsed the Earth drone. I know you can't see it. I can't see it, but it was right there. And then I interpolated the video. So that's their way of saying, if you Earth people are so smart, you would realize this is not a coincidence. We can hack into cameras. We can frame ourselves anywhere we want to be. And in this case, we're trying to tell you we're smart enough to do this and hide the Earth drone. And that's what we're looking at here. Phenomenal. It's a plethora of videos here. So What we're looking at here is the Blue Angels, Huntington Beach, a couple years ago. Again, all I do is review Blue Angels videos. I mean, I do review the Thunderbirds, the Air Force, the Thunderbirds being the Air Force, the Blue Angels being the Navy. I don't know why they favor the Navy a little more, but I watch both videos. I personally like, I'm an Air Force guy, so, but it is what it is. The video evidence shows that they really favor the Blue Angels. So I'm just, look what I find. I'm just going through Blue Angels videos and look what I find. What do you think is going to happen? If I'm showing you this video, what do you think you're going to see?
A dragon.
All right. You better see.
Spoiler.
Here we go. Absolutely. Look at this. It looks like it's coming like right off the ground, and it probably did. By the way, this is where it kind of gets hard. At velocity 0, they're 1 inch in diameter. Let's just say terminal velocity. Now, terminal velocity being defined as 2,000 miles an hour. We don't know their real terminal velocity. I think we can assume they're going, they've stopped at 2,000 miles an hour because they know our cameras will not record anything faster. So I think as a courtesy, their terminal velocity is 2,000, which correlates with the Pentagon. But basically at 2,000 miles an hour, it expands to roughly 10 inches. And I'll show you video proof of that. I do have video proof of that. The theory being, two theories. I favor my second theory now more. Here we go. Here's the
Now people are going to say that's just a bug. Oh, well, why do you think that is not a bug?
It's extremely predictable. It's always the same shape. It only flies when there's aircraft. Nobody can predict a bird or a bug. And a bug at the beach, I don't know if you live next to the beach. When's the last time you've seen a bug at the beach? It doesn't matter. It's you couldn't find one to save your life. You couldn't. Again, and it triggers the X band here. So then there's the exact same silhouette. And by the way, so this camera guy is facing north, and there is the Huntington Beach Pier. It's hard to say, maybe 1,000 feet away, 500,000 feet. Okay, so
also, if that's a bug, it's a very large bug because it doesn't look like it's super close to the camera, but it looks far enough away where you wouldn't be able to see a bug at that distance. Not very well.
No. If that was a bug, I'd be running. That'd
Yeah.
be a really, really scary big. There, we just got a little free X-band
But where could
activity.
it be coming from? Is it coming out of the ground?
Apparently, yeah, I have seen them sitting on the ground, and I'll show you that video. I'm just trying to show you. Now, what's important here, because people say, Robert, we need triangulation. We need 2 cameras. So I've done that. My roof camera has captured that. I've done that.
I've shown one of those. Do you have others that you can show?
That's my best one that I showed you. But I do have others, but I have to re-edit and take the time. Is really I got people all over the world sending me dragon video. I'm recording it myself. I'm finding them on YouTube like this. I still work part-time in pharmacy, so my day is pretty long here. But
Now,
again,
the most compelling to me are the ones that go behind distant objects, proving that they're not bugs.
right.
Those are the ones that I really love showing to people. You don't get it's a bug as much if it can go behind a distant object.
I do have some of that with our the Poseidon Recon aircraft. I'll try to show that. But what I want to just quickly show, because on the other side of where the pier is, there's a person's facing this way toward us, and they have their camera obviously facing south. And here comes the video. And what do you think? What do you think we're gonna? Here it is. So he's facing the other way, and look, just by doing research, he's really close to the camera.
I mean, that looks bug-like, Robert.
It does, but he's just very close to the camera. And frankly, this is why humans technically will never be able to decipher their existence. They're designed to be invisible. And without digital cameras, we would have never solved this. It just would not have happened. Again, they're extremely predictable. You can bait them. You can bait them with earth drones, parasails, balloons, kites. They're baitable. And frankly, they don't care because they're saying you can't catch us, and we can't. Let me
So
try to.
could the reason they have wings is to disguise them as bugs?
Well, that could also be a factor. It really could be because they're gonna want to camouflage themselves. But in this case, I really believe it has to do with propulsion. We just don't know enough about the psychology. Whoever is building these things are super
Because,
smart.
again, if that were a bug to be that clear, it would have to be close in that size. It would have to be closer to the screen than it appears to be.
And whatever this is, why is it always the same silhouette, the same behavior, the same wing-like material? Why isn't it? As you can see why I thought it was a dragonfly, but dragonflies have 4 wings and their body's longer, like a straw. So that's where I got the name dragon. Extremely predictable. I'm going to show you a lot more. That's fair. If you're watching this for the first time, that's fair. I want you to believe that's a bug for now. I get that. But again, these are all over the world here. That's my roof camera. I'll skip to the faster. Okay, we got a bird here. See, what a bird. And I believe we have another bird, and then we're going to have a dragon. It's going to be really fast. Okay, bird 1, bird 2. The dragon just flew by. Did you see it?
I missed it. I was looking
There
at
it
the
is.
second. I was looking at bird number 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
See the
there you go.
dragon?
Yeah, yeah.
Even in slow motion, you still don't see it. Extremely predictable. They're designed to be invisible. They did their homework. They know their physics. There it is. So we got bird 1, we got bird 2, we got a chopper, we got this unknown small U.A.P flying around, and it's extremely predictable, and it's always the same spot right here, Marina del Rey. That's the police, the LAPD. They always get tagged. Did you see the interview last month with Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
talked about this.
yeah. He did. He mentioned the dragons. I don't know if he called them dragons, but yeah, he did. He talked about it.
Well, he didn't use the word dragon, but 4 years ago, I had to sit down with him. I told him everything I'm telling you. And he said, I'm just going to go find out for myself. I'll go talk to the pilots. And last month, he told the story that the police, the fire department, and the sheriff are very annoyed with these things flying around them.
That's amazing, Robert. Now, has he talked about that publicly?
Yeah, that was on. Yeah, it was on the Adam Carolla show last month.
Okay, okay. And he actually
Otherwise,
talked, and he talked about talking to the pilots publicly,
correct. Yes,
and the
exactly.
pilots knew about him and were annoyed by them.
Those are the exact words. Yes.
So, what do the pilots know? What have they been told about these things?
Well, yeah, Dan's not going to tell you everything they told him. He told me that he would talk to them, and I never pressed the issue, and I never brought up the issue on my channel because you don't kiss and tell, you burn bridges if you do that. So you until the other person brings it up. And in this case, toward the end of the interview, he just say, there's this guy in Marina del Rey, and they're buzzing the police, the sheriff, and the fire department. He went out of their way to specifically give the name of the agencies. He didn't say they're just buzzing helicopters, which implies he talked to the pilots of each agency. And they told him, we're very annoyed by this. And I get that. I would be annoyed by it too. If you were a pilot, you don't want these things flying around you. You just never know.
Well, especially if they're occasionally punching holes in planes.
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, if it flew too close to the chopper and the chopper hit an air pocket, is very concerning, very concerning. So let's go to the next one here. Again, same concept, police video. Let me try to enlarge the picture for those watching this on your phones. Look at this. We still got another bird here. There it is. Same thing. It's not parallax. It's not a bug too close to the camera. We're way past that. This is extremely predictable. And I've got X-band videos. And you say, Robert, do you have X? I have X and K-band videos. I'll try to shoot through a lot of them. I just try to, let me just do X-band real quick. That's an interpolation. Here, let me go to pictures. Let's see, U-turn. Okay, X-band U-turn. Now, let me see what that looks like. I need to put these all in a file to speak. Thinking. I slowed it down. There it is. And if I'm not mistaken, it came back. Yeah, so this is an X-band. The dragon flies by. Now, usually when they fly by, 1% of the time they'll make a U-turn, but when they make a U-turn, it's usually within a 1 or 2 second window. So look at the time below, 9:39. It flies out of frame. It should return within 1 second. Second 40, there it is. Very predictable.
Okay, are there any that you can show us that go behind distant objects?
Okay.
I can hear the debunkers right now crying it's a bug, and I want to put that to bed before we move on, if we can.
If we can. Okay, let's pull up some behind video. I just simply call them behind videos. Got this off of YouTube. I believe that's like a C-17. Dragon coming in. They always get tagged. Always get tagged here. Super slow motion. Okay, so there's a dragon on the bottom, and look at this. There's a dragon on top. And here we go. It appears to be behind the airplane, the fuselage. It's behind. Now, if you look right here, you can kind of see a silhouette right here. But that's because they're running again on high voltage and they're giving off gamma rays. And so when they're behind a metal object, you will see the silhouette of the dragon. Basically, it's the same principle as a hospital x-ray. It's the same principle. So there's the dragon behind the fuselage. Let me back it up a little. So there's the dragon, clearly goes behind the fuselage and then comes out on the left side. Let me back up a little. Here, let's just watch it in without the contrast. There we go.
I think I can see it going in front of the plane.
It's very close. Then it's reconning right here. That's the nose. The nose of any plane is the radar. So it's reconning the radar. Let's go to another one, another behind. Quickly here behind the trees. Let's see, Arkansas. Okay. Okay, here we go. Dragon reconning this plane, goes behind the tree. Let me find you another one. I know because you need a multiple proof. I get that. Here's one I took. The police were circling these buildings. I recorded these buildings. Let me show you the video.
Because I've shown some really compelling ones of the objects going behind planes and helicopters. And you sent me those, so I know you've got them.
Yeah.
And so for those that saw those, if you haven't seen them, check them out. These are not bugs.
Not at all. Again, extremely predictable. Nobody can predict a bug. Okay, so here's the video. behind the right side of the building. And the police were circling there for 2 hours. They could see it. They could see it. So I got in my car. I drove down there.
Okay, play that one again. Can you play it in regular, just real
Yeah.
time?
Well, this is slowed down,
Okay, okay.
but just watch it in slow motion. In fact, there it is. In fact, I told my wife, just pull out your cell phone and record it because I don't have my camcorder
Yeah,
with me.
no, I think that's a really solid one. I think it's very clearly going behind those buildings.
Yeah, there it is. Come on, where's there? But we're in the middle of the street on Lincoln Boulevard. This is, and that exact same spot. Remember, I recorded coming down the high voltage line. Those are
Hmm.
the high voltage lines. That's where I recorded the dragon.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they're all over Marina del Rey, all over. Let me find one other behind plane. This one's in London. Let me quickly pull this up. Okay. Just look on YouTube. There we go. And did you hear the click? And this one, the click was, that's what it sounds like.
I'm not hearing the click.
Oh, you're not hearing this?
I'm not hearing the
Okay.
click, but I'm seeing the dragon.
Oh, wow. Okay, let me find you a different one then. Uh,
But maybe that's just on my end. Maybe our viewers will see it. We'll hear the click.
oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Uh,
Maybe I just need to crank up my speaker.
well, okay, this one comes really close. This is a news chopper. Let me try to enlarge the picture here. I'm an amateur photographer, not an editor. I'm a pharmacist, so I'm doing my best here. Uh,
Well, I mean, that is clearly in my mind not anything that's close to the lens.
no, we know it's about 10 inches. Look, it kind of disappears for one frame. There it is, and then reappears.
Whether that's going behind the helicopter or not, I am not buying that as anything that's close to the lens. That is a distant object, a distant, fast moving, tiny little object.
And again, very
Oh,
predictable.
and can you show that one? Show it in the zoom in if you can, so that we can see if it has any wing-like structures. Because I think this one might.
Well, this is kind of far.
Well, can you go to the zoom in again?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and just go back slowly, because yeah, go back a little bit. See if it changes shape a little bit. Yeah,
There
there you
it's
go.
kind of,
There
yeah,
you go.
it's got a
Yep.
little tip.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
a li-
So you can clearly see this UFO, this dragon. It's got wings, and it is, in my mind, very clearly nothing that's close to the lens.
No, in fact, it does just, it's gone right there. It's gone. It's not even in the good part about it, the helicopter is white right there. So it's, if the helicopter was black, you could say, well, it's blending with the black paint. It either went through or it was behind, but it wasn't in front.
Well,
Very
whether
predictable.
whether it goes behind or not, it's nothing. It's right there. It's right up at that helicopter.
It is. He's getting recon. They, and no matter how many times you get recon, they keep reconning you. They don't go on assumptions like, I know who you are, we're not going to recon you. They don't do that. They do not assume anything. They're all science. They're all science. They do not assume anything. Very predictable. Let me show you some other behind, because they're just, geez, real quick here. Behind the engine. Let's look at this one. I've got, and all my videos are open source. They're for any researcher. Well, okay, this is black. So some of you are going to go, it's merging with the black, but let me enlarge it. Maybe some of you will go, no, just because the paint is black doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's carefully back it up. Okay, I don't see it. It's behind the craft. This was a government helicopter too. You see, you see right there, you see that pod? That's a
Mm-hmm.
LiDAR pod. That's LiDAR. This is
Intriguing.
yeah, we've got
Is this a black helicopter? What is this agency that sending out this helicopter?
uh, it's very rare. Usually I have them all memorized.
It's got a tag. It's got words on there.
It's yeah, yeah, that's I've seen this guy before. He's well, this is LiDAR.
LiDAR.
They're
Why is it LiDARing Marina del Rey?
that's a great question. They often are here. LiDAR for sure recorded that dragon right there for sure.
Yeah.
He's got the video. You think
Do,
I
do,
got
do, do you think that that is why they LiDAR'd? Are they out hunting dragons?
100%? Yeah. Why else would the now some people would say, well, there's a gas company here and you can use LiDAR for gas leaks, methane. Uh, Technically true. But if you watch the way they fly and how they do racetracks, and they're all over the city, there's grids. I remember planefinder.net. I watched the skies over Los Angeles, and they're doing grids. And in this case, they're doing LiDAR, but this is really behind the chopper. Look at this. Or he went right up to it. The Dragon's very curious about the LiDAR technology, so that's why it's so close. It is what it is. I mean, at first you're gonna say it's a bug, but after you watch about 10 videos, you're gonna get rid of the bug theory. You're gonna like something weird is going on here, something very odd. Um, and it is something very odd is going on here. We got the police again. And like, think of this. Say somebody had a drone and they were doing this for fun. Now, who would do that? Who would fly their drone up to a police helicopter for fun? Look how close it is. It's like, and I have them closer than that. So who would do that?
Crazy
Um,
person that wants to get arrested.
yeah. Oh, shoot. They would be so mad at you. They would they would just be so incredibly mad at you. Um,
But I like that one because the dragon is the same focus as the helicopter. It's nothing that's again close to the lens.
Correct. And it's over and over. Let me show you, you want to show the people the Palmdale wormhole?
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a fun one. The Palmdale wormhole. You're like, what are you talking about, Robert? What are you talking about a Palmdale wormhole portal thing? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So how did I find this? Again, oops, I don't want to edit it. I'm sorry. Okay, so how did I find this? All I'm doing, I'm watching Blue Angel videos. I've watched like 1,000 air show videos on YouTube, and I know what to look for. So this is the reflection of the pilot's helmet. And basically this part of the sky, you're gonna see what appears to be a wormhole, and I think it is. It's a portal is gonna open. Remember I said earlier, these dragons, their primary function is to escort, is to protect larger UAPs, UFOs, because they value the life and property of larger UFOs as we do with our F-22s and F-35s. We value the lives of our pilots. So they escort. So you'll see a bunch of dragons and then you'll see a ship will come out of the portal. This was from 2017, obviously reported by the Blue Angels. And let me show you, then I'll talk to it. Did you hear the click?
I
You didn't
think I
hear the
heard
click?
something. Maybe it's raining here, so I may be hearing the rain.
Okay. So because the click is a lot easier to hear when you record behind a glass canopy, when you're in a sound chamber, you will record the click 8% of the time, maybe more, but I'm picking it up at 8%. So in this case, the pilot's doing a roll. There's no way in the world he would ever see a wormhole open because this is the flash of an eye. This is a blink. If you blink, you will have missed it. It's not the reflection of the helmet, but basically it's a straight line. And I have talked to my friends who are physicists, and they've said, no, a wormhole is not an expanding dot. It is a flat line, a flat line. So here's actually, they got that right. I got it wrong. I thought it was an expanding dot. There's the U.A.P. You can go to, I'll tell you where to find this video. There's the U.A.P. Those are dragons being protected by these dragons itself. And let me do a frame forward. There it is. Now look at this. Doesn't that kind of look like a flash drive, like a USB flash drive? The front of it is narrow and the back of it, not necessarily round, maybe hexagon or octagon. You kind of see that from the bottom.
Yeah, to me it looks more like a spaceship with a wing.
A spaceship. Um, I've showed this to a couple experts. We've even, let's see, in a polite way, we did show this to the Navy.
What did the experts say?
Well, the Navy didn't want to comment, but they finally said maybe it's a piece of trash in the cockpit, a wrapper, a candy bar wrapper. I said, okay. And then the other expert said, that's an engine falling off of an airliner.
Okay. All right.
I said, okay, that's fine also.
How do they explain the wormhole thing?
They don't touch that, and they don't touch the X-band videos. They don't touch it. They don't ever address it. If you want to see this for yourself, go to Blue Angels Ride Looking Forward. Blue Angels Ride Looking Forward. Go to timeline 2313, 23 minutes, 13 seconds. The window is 13 seconds to 14 seconds. So 2313 to 2314. You will see this for yourself. If you're somewhat an expert at editing, take your time and put it under a microscope.
Before you go, can you play that one time all the way through? Real time?
In real time?
Well, whatever time is filmed in.
Yeah, real time.
Well, okay, yeah, whatever you got.
I think this is real time right here.
Just those few seconds.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's slow motion.
Okay, well, let's watch that. Let's watch that.
Okay, okay. Click, click. Did you hear the click?
Maybe. Yeah. Again, it's raining here, so
Oh,
kind of hard to tell the subtle.
let me just replay it 4 or 5 times.
That's a cool video. I love it. I love it.
I love it. Okay, so there's a reason why I said notice the shape of it, because we're going to go to Chicago now. And we're going to see, in my opinion, very similar, if not the same aircraft. So let's open up the Chicago file. Let's go down. And how do I find this? I just watch Blue Angel videos, and Chicago being my #1 city. Why Chicago? I have a theory, but it doesn't really matter because I have the video. So at the air show, the pilot's like 3,000 or 4,000 feet. He's heading down toward the water. This is Lake Huron. These are all boats in the summertime watching a beautiful air show. And what do you think's gonna fly by? Here we go. Something better fly by or I'm going to be pretty embarrassed here.
Yeah, there we go.
This is all in the blink of an eye. Super slow motion. Here, just keep watching. There's even a better part. There it is. So let me stop it right there. Let me enlarge it for your viewers. Doesn't that look like a little flash drive again? The USB
Yeah,
part.
it does. It looks like a similar shape object.
Now, last year, with all the Chinese balloons, and we shot one down over Chicago airspace in that territory. Before the pilot shot it down, he said, "Hey, I see it. I see it. It's black and it's a hexagon." Yeah, if you research it, it's hard to find, but he says it's black and it's a hexagon. I found this 5 years ago over Chicago airspace. What a coincidence. Let's go one frame forward, or see if we can. There we go. How's that? Is that a little better?
Yeah.
That looks, wouldn't you say the back is kind of like a triangle? So it's easy, triangle, hexagon, octagons. I get that. Now the best part about
Beautiful
it,
footage.
yeah, and I've done this 6 years, 12,000 hours. That's the best one. That's one of the best ones I found. Now this orange thing, what the heck is this orange? What is going on here? What, we don't have orange clouds. There's no such thing as an orange cloud. So my theory, and I have other videos that show this, what they're using for electricity to generate their current, in this case, they're using helium. And logically, they'd either be using hydrogen or helium. And in this case, if you look it up, plasma helium electrified is orange. If you take plasma helium and send an electric current through it, it does turn orange. So there's one of my videos that support that.
Well, what did you think? A slightly different subject. What did you think of the UFO or UFOs that Buzz President Biden's refueling tanker the other day?
Jeez, yeah. Well, whenever the president comes to town, no matter who you are, it's starting 10 years ago, I always have my camera ready because it's again, it's predictable. I know how this is going to play out. Now, I did not predict the F-35s getting an escort by F-35s. That's a serious upgrade. That's, to me, that's the Pentagon is saying, they're sending a message to these dragons. Don't even think about flying over Los Angeles, because we're bringing in our F-35s, and F-35s being a very sophisticated aircraft as far as communication goes. What its electronics abilities is unimaginable. I can only imagine it can probably literally scan every frequency in the spectrum. And if it picks up a hostile frequency, it can target that location within 1 second and fire on it. So if it picked up a dragon, the theory being, if it was over ocean territory, if it was safe, it would have probably made an attempt to shoot it down. But nevertheless, it backfired because all the camera people picked up the F-35 and picked up the tankers. So the tankers got got tagged by an orb. And then when the president flew his helicopter over Marina del Rey, he got tagged twice. I could show you the president getting tagged. I mean, if he
Well,
wants
let's do it.
uh, yeah, TUS. Got a little KA here. Let's try one more time here. Tell the computer, please show us just the president's videos. And let's see. What are some of the better ones here? Okay, the POTUS, here we go. Yeah, when he was here last month. Okay, this is 2023. Okay, this is him just flying over, but let me show you the one where he's getting tagged.
And this is the president himself, not his refueling tanker.
Correct. There it is, Marine One. There's two Marine Ones. There's one here, and one just flew away as a decoy. Nevertheless, here's the dragon. I interpolated the video, knowing it's very predictable. The president always gets tagged. My first lucky video was actually 10 years ago now. It was July of 2014. President got tagged 3 times. I have that video. Very predictable. It's just, I can't stress it enough. Let me show you this contrast video here. Okay. Marine One over Marina del Rey. That's interesting. Marine One over Marina del Rey. Wow. Never thought of it that way. There it is. There comes the dragon, comes right over the top. Obviously very friendly. They're not here looking for trouble. They're just, there you go. It shows up even better. That's rare. Usually contrast shows up really best, but in this case, regular vision light works. Again, I can't stress how predictable this is. This has been going on for 10 years that I know of.
Do you
Here,
think the
let's try.
dragon phenomenon is a relatively new phenomenon, or do you think it's always been around?
Well, I just saw a video from 1979 at the Rose Bowl. A camera guy saw two orbs. He zoomed in on the two orbs, and then two dragons tagged the two orbs. So we now know at least 1979, which is a relief, because my question was, the Hadron Collider went online in 2008. Did the Hadron Collider accidentally open a portal and brought these dragons in? So I didn't think so, but I needed some type of proof. And so we now have video. It's primitive video, 480, 24 frames, but nevertheless, I think they've been here a long time, long time. And the good news is, people, people say, oh, Robert, that's just a bug. So it's not really a threat to anybody, because I could oh, Robert, you don't know what you're talking about. So we're not going to get that upset with you, which I like it like that. I like that arrangement. Let's see here. Let's, again, God, there's so much president's videos here. CHP, that's what the vice president.
Well, if
So,
you can, try to show the strongest evidences. If you can, things, triangulation, objects going behind distant objects,
okay,
whatever you think is the most compelling evidence to show people unfamiliar with this phenomenon.
okay, that's fair. Let me show you my Canada video real quick. So just watching air show, and then I'll get to the triangulation. So just watching air shows, I see this in Canada. Uh, and this dragon, look at this. This dragon shows up for one frame, pretty close, relatively speaking, pretty close. And then it disappears, and then another dragon in the distance comes across from the right. So watch the video, see for yourself. This is amazing. There goes the dragon. Watch the right corner. Do you see that? Look at the right corner.
It's kind of hidden by the bar at the bottom, but yeah, I see
Okay,
something.
that's fair. Let me enlarge it.
But I do see it. I do see it.
Okay. It was trying to frame itself out of the video. I don't know if we got lucky or what. There it is. Right in front of
What
the,
is that thing?
look, right in front of the F-22. What is that thing? Jeez, it's a great question. It's not a bird. It's not a bug. It's not a dragon. We just saw a dragon. We got to expand. So maybe, there it is. Can we kind of agree the sky is blue? Can we kind of agree that looks like an F-22?
Yeah,
Can we kind of agree whatever this thing is down here, it's about the same resolution as the F-22,
roughly.
roughly? Yeah, maybe 1080. It's pretty decent, pretty clear. They're right in front of us. We don't see it. Their neuroscience, their understanding of our neural brain network is highly advanced, highly advanced.
I
So,
would say that was closer than the plane is, but not close enough to be you know, anything close to the camera.
right, that basically. And again, this is all over the internet. This is all I do is watch air show videos. The triangulation. Okay, so you kind of want me to show the triangulation. Let me see if I could find that real fast.
I want to show that the strongest evidences for people who are uninitiated with this phenomenon.
Okay, that's fair. Here, I wasn't going to show you the Barcelona, but real quick, I'll get. Here's a somewhere off the coast, Barcelona. Uh, a pilot, same thing.
It is smoky.
A lot of fog. Look what flies up to him. What is this?
Are
These,
those dragons?
yeah, yeah, three pairs. Yeah. So they fly past the cockpit and then a few more fly by, and there's the ships down below in the water.
Now,
Those
could
are,
that just be debris in the air? Just,
it's
because there's so
actually,
much smoke and stuff.
well,
Or
it's
maybe that's just fog, but could that just be aerial debris of some sort?
unless he's flying through flak. I mean, there's live fire. He's flying through live fire. I don't know if they would do that. That sounds
Yeah, and if I were a pilot and there really were that much aerial debris, I don't think I'd be flying around.
not a chance. Are you kidding? You want me to fly through shrapnel? Are you kidding? Uh, Real quick, just recording a hawk right here because it's a windy day. And look what flies behind the hawk.
Does that go behind?
Yeah, yeah, it's behind the bird. Yeah,
All right,
it does.
let's show it go behind.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, can you play it from the beginning?
Yes, I can. So all I'm doing is recording a hawk right behind the hawk.
Yep, that clearly goes behind the bird.
And what this is not three dragons. This is extremely rare. This is a giant triangle.
What?
Now, yeah, it's a giant triangle. This
Well,
is
where's
not
the triangle?
point one, two, and three. Now, point three is dark, which I don't understand, but I
Huh.
interpolated this. I interpolated it.
Before you do the interpolation, can you play it one time all the way through?
Yes,
I want to
sir.
see the movement before it's interpolated.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They're all going together, aren't they?
And then it really is
Hmm.
the interpolation really
That's a great capture, Robert.
that was one in a lifetime. I don't know if I'll
Yeah,
get that lucky.
those are clearly distant objects all traveling together as one, either one object or one group of objects. Um,
Right behind
and
the
what
hawk.
is that thing in the middle?
Shoot. What the heck? Wait a minute. Oh no, that's the tip of the
Oh,
triangle.
that's the
Yeah.
tip. Okay, okay, all right.
Unbelievable. So let me quickly show you the
So, that thing on the corner, that could be one of those weird looking dragon things that you said it looked like a flash drive. If that were true, then that would seem to indicate they all are all part of the same group of entities that are piloting them or,
these
operating them.
yeah, yeah. Now here's the interpolation, which I like because you can see how it sways to the right in sync, and then it sways to the left in sync. So you can analyze this. I don't care if you're a professor or whoever, you can analyze it all you want. This is open source copy, share it with others. This is for humanity. I'm not doing this for money or fame. Um, I invented the mail order pharmacy business, so I got very lucky. I did very well.
You were very
Uh,
smart.
well, it's just I knew it when I was 4 years old. I was going to be a scientist. That's when I started to study science when I was 4 years old. And then when I was 10, I knew I'd be a pharmacist. And then when I had the pharmacy, I got to hang out with Hollywood, and that was fun. So I did the fame and and the finance, and so this is for humanity. I want to see us advance forward.
Okay, now what I'm noticing about this interpolation is really interesting is that I guess the top orb or the top dragon is moving slightly different than the other two. The ones on both sides are both doing the wavy thing, but the one at the middle one is more straight. So
And
so in other words, it's not one object with different points. They are three separate objects, I guess.
no,
I
I
mean,
think
what
this
do
is
I
just
know about the physics of UFOs? But uh, yeah. So
you know,
interesting.
well, that's the beauty of brainstorming. But to me, this is a triangle from here to here to here. And that's why this dot showed up first, because it's evidently it's a triangle going
But do you
straight
see
up.
how the middle line is straighter than the two flanking lines?
Right. Well, if you take a real triangle, you can manipulate it, articulate it to fit that pattern. Um,
So you think
but
that's one object and we're just seeing 3 points?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, and then the question is, why aren't they all black or all white? I mean, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? This really, man, this is why I want to brainstorm this with a lot of smart people. We need the help of a lot of smart people. That's what's going on. So let me try to find that triangulation thing now.
Oh, and keep in mind, I only have about another 10 minutes.
Yipes. Okay. Hurry up, Robert. Let me see. Okay. Um, Twin triangulation. I think this is it right here. Totally get that. Yeah. So this is like real time. Fire department comes in. Remember Dan Eckford, the fire department's very upset about about the being buzzed. But he comes in, I'm on the balcony, and sure enough, there it is. In the blink of an eye. Jeez, that was so look at that. Looked like a flicker. You can't even see the other one. Okay, what's important here is this one is eye level with the chopper. Okay, let me try to quickly get you a better picture. Yeah, we're short on time here. I'm trying to hurry up on this. Oh, you know what? I'll just go to 7/4/23. 7/4/23. Come on, show me all the pictures from that day. Yikes, here we go. Yeah, that's what happened. See, it happened right in front of us. We didn't even see that. So one came off the ground, the other one was horizontal. Uh, the one that's
Nice.
horizontal, yeah, I love this one right here. It's basically eye level with my camera. Okay, this is important because my roof camera is 40 feet higher above my balcony. So if the roof camera is higher and it would be looking down on the chopper and on the dragon. Would you not agree? It
I
would
would
be looking
agree.
it would be looking down, and when it looks down, let's play the video of the roof camera looking down. And by the way, the roof camera is 4K 15 frames. 4K 15 frames. There's the fire department. Okay, and we better see a dragon.
I see a dragon.
There it is. Let me enlarge it for you. I know for those on the cell phone, there's the dragon, there's the fire department. Let me enlarge it. Here we go. Back up the video a little bit. The dragon comes in, it skims off the ground, but basically right there. So again, the roof camera is looking down on the chopper and looking down on the dragon. That's exactly where you expect to see. You wouldn't expect to see the dragon above the chopper. The only way to get that is if you were on the ground right here in the marsh, the wetlands. But there's the triangulation thing. It's roughly, we know by looking at Google Map and looking at Plane Finder, the helicopter was 4,400 feet away. And I had a couple of expert viewers calculate the dragon at 1,700 feet out. But it's also irrelevant how far out the dragon is. All that matters is triangulation. Do you have two cameras? And yes, I have the two camera thing. I have more than enough video, more than enough than any one person can ever analyze in their life. There's the dragon just shooting across all the way from left to right. Yeah,
And
there
can you
you
show
there.
the other footage from the other camera again?
Yeah, from the balcony. Yeah, Nope, that's not it. That was a different one. That was a very active day, by the way, 4th of July. That was very active. Um, roof camera, roof camera. Oh, this is it right here.
Fire sync triangulate. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, it's synchronized with the roof. That's all it needs. Good, it's slow motion. Here we go.
Two of them,
Yeah,
but
that
only one
that
of them showed up on camera or on
that's
the second camera.
that's right. Now remember, the second camera you might say is more primitive. It is 4K. It's not a zoom lens, and it's 15 frames. Whereas I'm recording 4K with a Leica zoom lens. Leica is really a nice lens, and at 60 frames. So you expect to get some better video, but it's a great question in physics. Why did the one coming off the ground, why did it not show up? It should have, theoretically it should have. I don't have all the answers, Jack. I just have the data. Like I said, there's a lot of smart people watching your channel. If I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. Just you see how
Now, is that zoomed in right there?
well, it's zoomed in to the point where the helicopter, I'm zoomed in on the helicopter.
I just say, can you zoom out any?
Because
There,
it's a
there's a
oh no, I can't. No, I could zoom in. I could zoom in if you
Okay,
want.
okay. Can you play it from the beginning so we can see track the horizontal one's movement?
Of
Because
course.
when I played this for my channel, I noticed something that the horizontal UFO dragon seems to be moving in the same trajectory as the one captured by the rooftop camera. You
It
know,
is. It is.
proving that it's the same object.
That's exactly correct. Exactly. The roof camera caught the dragon on the right, flying parallel with the ground. It is what it is.
Yeah, so see how it goes in from above and then it levels off like that.
Yeah,
And you'll see that from the rooftop camera too.
we'll go back to the roof, but it did come in high, and it did dive down. It did dive down. There it is, and then we'll go back to the roof camera. Okay, that's fair. I get it, because your viewers are tough, but they're fair. And they're saying, Robert, just show us the evidence. Okay, and I get that. That's fair. I mean, you're tough, but you're fair. So here we go. You see it diving down?
So it's diving down
It's diving down,
and then it
guys.
levels out
There you go.
exactly where it does in the other footage.
Exactly.
A very solid case, very solid sighting.
I,
It is
I
weird the other one doesn't show up, but it doesn't show up.
it does show up. Right, right,
I
exactly.
mean, it shows up in one but not the other.
It is odd. I don't know where to go from here. We're almost out of time.
Oh
Um,
well, what's your most compelling UFO that you haven't shown, or most compelling dragon you haven't shown yet today? I hate to rush you, but
I know.
what's your favorite, most compelling Thanksgiving dragon?
Let me see if I can remember to spell here. My most compelling is this guy right here. Uh, this is with contrast, and uh, and this is just a regular visible light. What's going on here? This is March 26, 2017, when everything broke loose with the two UFOs in 2017. This is Covina, California, just outside of Pasadena, not too far from Pasadena. And what's going on here is two F-18s are flying over Covina, California, and um, a person called me. They said, hey, these jets have been over my house all day. What should I do? I said, go outside and record the jets. So this person goes outside, records the two jets. And this UFO was face to face with these two jets 4 seconds earlier. For some reason, it drops out of the sky and flies up to the pole. And
Do you
there,
have it when it's face to face with the two jets 4
yeah,
seconds earlier?
yeah. Real fast here. It's funny when you're not in, okay. When you're not in a hurry, you can find everything.
Yeah, I don't take your time. I don't want to rush you.
Well,
Time is a factor, but
okay,
I've got a few more minutes, man.
okay, okay.
Let's yeah.
So let's enlarge it. It's behind the satellite dish. There are the two jets. Let me back it up.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. There it
There it
is.
is.
Yep.
UFO. UFO comes from there and slowly, and we know the silhouette of the jets are about 35 feet. And assuming that it's about really close to the jets, and the silhouettes are roughly the same. There we go. We got three silhouettes there. That's as large as I can enlarge it. Let me try to slowly move forward, and it pulls away. But basically, for that moment in time, it was really close to our jets.
Does it
And
go
this,
behind the radar dish,
yeah, it
satellite
does.
dish?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There it is. See, it's not
Okay.
there anymore. Yeah, it's behind the dish.
Excellent. Excellent. Love it.
But this is a big commotion as far as all the videos go. 2017 was a big commotion. Some scientists at JPL recorded this. They made a big deal about it. It got a lot. It really ruffled a lot of feathers. They don't want to ever talk about this. Now, what makes this even harder? You're saying, Robert, this is really a good video. I'm like, I can't believe you've got a capture of this, and you've got it falling out of the sky, and it flies up to the, because that pole is 300 feet from the camera person. So I'm assuming that's 400 feet. It's probably as close as you can get and not injure anybody because of the gamma rays. So you see the plasma jets? They're running on electricity.
Now, why is that not a fly?
You want to see it in real time?
We'll see it.
Why
We'll
is that
see
not?
it.
Let me see if I could play it in real time. God, everybody.
Because that's the first thing people are going to say.
Okay, well, let's see if I show the real live video. Come on, play the video for me.
But obviously, the one if that's the same object when it flies by the planes, clearly that's a great capture.
Yeah, well, that's the same object that was. Let me play the video for you because I know somebody's going to want to copy the video and analyze it, and please do, please do. If the Pentagon wants to study this, I'm sure they already have. I posted this a long time ago. Uh, so what makes this, before I play the video, what makes this even harder to believe? Okay, the same thing happened in 2018, same location, March 2018. Same thing happened March 2019. In fact, I told the person, be aware if you hear jets, because March of 2019 is coming up, have your camera ready. And then I was intended to be there myself, and then my appendix burst, and I was in the
Ugh.
hospital. So I can't believe it was horrible, but I missed it.
Oh.
But they recorded it, and what even harder to believe, the jets came back, Covina
Well, the main thing
2022.
is you were okay.
Amen. That was really close. That was really, I flew really close to the sun.
That's scary. That's scary, man.
That's scary. So let me show you, uh, maybe this is the one in real time. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Here we go, real time. So things are going to be happening. You're going to hear the person talking. You're going to see what I saw. Okay, here we go. You guys want evidence, you want good stuff. Here it is. She's referring to that they've been there all day. That's what she's referring to. So she says, here they come again.
Beautiful day, beautiful footage.
This is just drop dead amazing. This is like a gift from heaven. So it was easy. Did you see the UFO? Here, try to watch it again. Watch the top of the pole. It's really fast. It's so fast, even I still miss it. Here,
Yeah, hey, I didn't see it.
there it is. Here, just watch the top of the pole. Don't look at the jets.
Don't look at the jets. All right, I'm not looking at the jets. Looking at the pole. Looking
It
at the
happens
pole.
fast. Yeah. Here, I'll replay it. It happens fast. Did you see it?
I saw something. I saw something. I
You
guess it
saw it
was
go.
the dragon.
That's a ship.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I can see that.
Yeah, that's a ship. I can't even see. I can't even stop it fast enough. I really
Okay, well, let's
can't.
go back to the screen capture or
Okay,
the still.
to the still shot. Here we go. This one will work. There we go. We got a couple of fighter jets. Again, what makes this harder to believe is it happened almost to the week, 1 year later, 18, 19, and 2022. I don't think it's going to happen this year, March of 2024, but I'm going to tell her to, if you hear jets, listen, if any of your viewers are in the Covina, Pasadena area, that's a large area. If you hear any jets in March, in 2 more months, please go outside and record the jets. Landscape, don't zoom in too far, just like halfway. There it is. And in full disclosure, let me share something with you. I showed this to my patent attorney, and he has a client. I won't say the name, but his client is the biggest software editor in the world. So that probably what I'm talking about. Well, I said, "Oh, you want to just for fun? I mean, I don't, because it was free and it was available." I said, "Give them this picture and ask them if this is Photoshop." Because it was free, it's like, what are the odds? And a month later, they got back to him and said, "This is whatever, we don't know what it is, but it's not Photoshop." And he said, "Okay, just delete the picture. I was never here." So um, there it is. It's not a dragon.
Not a dragonfly.
That's not a dragonfly. I mean, I get it. Oh, and oh, by the way, here, real quick. Okay, the poll here. Let me just real quick. Let me show you 2018, 1 year later. Okay.
Okay, last one, and then I've
Last
got to
one.
wrap it up for the
And
day.
then you got to run. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hurry up, Robert. Okay. There's that poll. Okay. Look at that. You see it?
Now see it.
Over the same friggin' poll 1 year later. Come on. What are we doing here? What's going
Likes
on
that
here?
pole. Likes that pole.
It's
Got some good vibes. Got some good energy coming off of that pole.
evidently evident. There's a message here. Okay.
Almost got the good electrons.
It's evidently, yeah. So there you go. It's I know you're like, this just cannot be happening. March 18, the other one was March 26, like a year, like a year, literally 1 year apart. And this is all documented. If the Pentagon wanted to show, oh, there were 3 F-18s this time, not 2. So there you go. I've done the
Great
best I
stuff,
can.
Robert. Great stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. And everybody go check out Robert's channel, Custodian File. He's got a lot more. He's been documenting this for years. Just awesome stuff. Really pioneering a new branch or a new field of study in ufology and this whole new phenomenon of these dragon UFOs. It's just amazing stuff. Thank you so much, Robert. Is there anything that you're working on now that people should know about or that you would direct them to?
Oh, wow. I would encourage you when you see helicopters or planes, again, take your cell phone, hold it landscape, zoom in halfway, 30 seconds, start recording these dragons yourself. They're all over the sky. They're everywhere, not just Marina del Rey. They're everywhere. Please send me your video to custodianfile@gmail, custodianfile@gmail. I'll post your video if you want. I'll share it with Jack. We'll get it out there. Yeah.
Love it, man. Love it. Thank you so much, Robert. Everybody, give him a like on his channel. And if you've enjoyed this video, big thumbs up. Sure to appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you guys next time. This is Jack and Robert with Cosmic Road signing out.